All right. Check. Kick, because kick has probably not got the title. It's wrong. Paste. Starfield. Kick is right. My space is not right. Hear an audio feedback. All right. Okay, let's see if Twitter's right. Twitter is not right. List of brainstormings. List of brainstormings. All right. I think it's. I don't know. I can't tell. I don't know what's working, what's not working, what's updated, what's not updated. I think live spaces kick should be about Twitch. Twitch get fixed. Oh, because it still has me chatting. Back into Starfield. Window is. Right. I got them all. Good. Good, good, good. Yeah. Now let's get into Starfield. Play some. Play some more. And more. And more. Wait for it to load. So, what do we want to do this time? We're level 15. Yeah, I know my mods are disabled. I don't give a fuck. My achievements are disabled because I'm running mods. I don't give a fuck. Wait a minute. I don't want to do any of these. There's content. Let's actually go get some ships. There's nothing here I need to do, is there? No, I was just there. All right. Go.
Let's see what's out there.
Go kill some ships and try and take some ships. I'm gonna go head out someplace. Go out. Let's go to settings. My volume is a bit loud.
Achieving orbit now.
Yeah, that's much better.
Hello. There you are. I just had to see the newcomer. See if you live up to do not so rare that someone new comes along. It's very profitable as well. It's not yet time, but hope and my pocket. I really can't say. As much it may mean nothing. Please, just speak it. I hope to see you at the
Okay. Let's first take this off. I almost forgot. Get up. I gotta give somebody. Oh, she does have her. Yeah. Yeah, I got my girls. I got my girls right. There's Andresia. Oh, yeah. There's Sarah, your blonde, blue-eyed girl. She looks so much better. She looks, oh yeah, so much better. Don't you guys agree? Andresia. They both look so much better. Dressed properly. Really gotta like that when they dress in a bikini. So, let's start getting place. Just to surround some. And bounce around and see what we can find to kill. I don't know what I want to do. There we go. Hit the hostile activity. Let's see what we.
All right, let's see what you've got.
Last month, did you explore that system I asked about? I was expecting a report.
Well, I meant to, but then I
took
caught
out
an
the
SOS
just
and it led to this goose chase.
So, did you do it?
No, I mean, I meant to, but then it changed. But I'm not saying it's
Sorry, there has been one. No, how about you just align to someone else then?
that may be best.
Director, we've knocked out their shield.
That was not very hostile. That wasn't hard. What's the pro game? How's it going? What are you up to? What are you playing? Also, muscular pubes game. Okay, gotcha. What are you up to tonight? Over here on Kick. Let's see what else we got for activity here. Anything interesting? Sensor contact. Let's go travel. What are you up to? Sure is a quiet night. It'd be great. A few things. Getting a few things. Right. Quick. Okay. That hostile activity. Let's see. Random. Fast traveler. Let's see what it looks like. Anything interesting? Don't know.
Cut your engines. Looks like you're hauling contraband goods. Respond or face the consequences.
How am I hauling contraband goods?
Looks like you were carrying some contraband on board after our scan. Sit tight while we conduct a more thorough scan. Just one moment. Not looking good for you. I could call for some backup, or you could just pay an, immediate fine, and we can both be on our way. By the authority of, let's just get this over with. Open fire! Look alive!
Their grandfather is crippled. They're not escaping.
You're not going anywhere. You shithead. They weren't going anywhere. There's a. There he is. I thought there was a planet right here. There it is. Different of one. I haven't seen that one before. It looks like.
Target's grav drive has been knocked offline. The enemy's grav drive has been disabled.
United Colonies vessel to unknown contact. All in a day's work for UC security. I'm not sure if any way we can... Transferring parts now. Thanks again for the help. UC out.
A ways away. I know. There ain't nothing else here. Contact. Do some exploring so we kind of unlock a bunch.
I will not get tired of that.
Travel. Go take care of this so-called sensor contact. Check out the ship.
Mayday, mayday, mayday. Any nearby ship, please respond. Thank God you happened along. We were jumped by pirates and our grav drive is offline. We need some spare parts to repair it. Thanks for nothing. So much for the fellowship of the spacefarers, eh?
Let's see what we find. Everybody wants shit from you for free. Ship parts and that are not cheap.
Navigational feedback checks out. We're in the right place.
Good, Sarah. calm down the hostile.
Target is locked and grabbed by taking it out on the way. Enemy engines down, Captain. They are free. We've taken out their shields. We have disabled the enemy's engines. Enemy has lost their target's shields are down.
Here's hostile. I can get in there with this ship. Oh, fuck, this fucking ship. The higher I get, the better I do. This ship does pretty freaking good. But like I say, I like to get this one of these ships like this kind of early. So where can I? Clean her up pretty good with this. Get a little bit better weapons on here too, and I'll do a lot better. Yeah, well.
Taking out their grab drive.
Ah, I got destroyed. That is a very hostile area. Definitely need better shields. Need a few things for that. Let's go. See if we can get a couple of ships. Maybe a land if a ship lands. Try this
Landing
little
struts
game.
primed. Retros firing.
Even without life, there is the potential for beauty.
Yep. Where is it? I hear it. See if we can get it. Fucker's taking off. Pisses me off. No, what do you guys think about the Blend OS? Anybody that was watching? Who else is around that's actually saw some of that? Anybody's gonna try it? Wonder how it is for gaming on. That's my main question. Overall. Like setting it up on a computer with having yeah, running a 3090 on Vita. I don't know. I wonder how that would actually work. Anyway. I don't know. That's what. Oh.
Heat is disgusting. Might as well just stand in front of the ship's engines on takeoff.
Well, getting your swimsuit soon enough. It's grabbing me some more. Round. Something. Astros.
Always a satisfying moment to return to your ship.
Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna play for a little bit more, and then I'm gonna probably shut down. See how quickly I can install OS. I'm getting kind of curious.
Time to leave this place behind. Orbital insertion completed.
Oh well, does it? What do you guys think?
Beginning landing cycle.
You know, Who do we also got in here hiding out? Anybody that wants to talk?
Greetings, Captain.
I'm just... I had a feeling it's a UC ship. Ships that are gonna say need repairs. Well, that might be a private ship. I don't know, what do you think? Private ship. Gold colors. Research ship. UC transport, that's right.
Hey.
Yes? Oh, wow. Glad to see another person out here. We're completely out of water and could use a spare drink pack. We just left the homestead when House Faroon's zealots attacked us. Ended up having to jettison our cargo just to escape. It's a miracle we even made it out alive, but now we don't have enough to get back home. Yeah, if you spot any, we could really use it.
There's another ship. Let's go,
Captain.
Len.
Hello. I am satisfied.
Where else?
Any adventure you can fly away from. Is that how the saying goes?
Look, where? You're looking.
Yeah?
You ever take a
Hey.
My bandage up. Still dealing with my feet.
I'm listening.
Really looked at him. She's.
Yeah, what is it?
I really don't expect.
So, let's see what's.
Emily, why'd you?
Bro, how's it going?
Good girl. Up here. That's your go.
Oh, Daft went live.
So where? I guess I can move this. I'll move this here for now. That works. Hey! Oh wow, you were on YouTube. Is that you, Saram? Haru C, is that you? I'm on YouTube. I'm on YouTube as well. And there's some videos on there. And I think they're funny. This is Saram. Haha, yes. Oh my god. Hey, Techno Freak, what's up? I'm multi-streaming too. Well, I'm not. See, I'm only multi-streaming to 3. Techno Freak is multi-streaming to like 6 or 7. he's out there. He's blasting his stream out into space. He's gonna make sure aliens see it. That's where he's streaming. He's streaming everywhere. There's a place to stream. He's there. It's getting done. Hi. How's it going? You have to catch up. LOL. What do you mean I have to catch up? Is it laggy? It might be a bit laggy because I'm using one browser source in my slobs, so I can read all the chats coming in at once, and I don't have to like skip between them. So it might be a little bit delayed because it's going through this. It's being filtered into one, so it's easier for me to like look. And right now, the browser that I have this attached to is the same browser I use for.
You talk to any of the.
Or if I do this, see, then it just shows that, right? It just shows my live stream. There's another video we're gonna watch. It doesn't highlight this one for some reason. Okay. Interesting. All right.
This is who I got
I guess
going
I would
right
have
now,
to
Daft.
move these out of that one that's being used. Come on. There we go. All right, so now I have a place to see chat, so I can actually see the delay. Okay, sorry. So Kick is the only one I'm not on. Oh, there you go. Yeah, so I'm doing 7. You're doing 3. I know. Hey, I just started, man. All right. I get 5 and 1. You said you were doing 6 earlier. That's why I said 6 to 7, because I knew you did say 7. But when I was on your chat, you said 6, so one was missing. No, I'm doing 7. Okay, so you are doing the 7. I was at the time. I was only on. Okay, I see. You upgraded. Okay. Yeah. Sadly, I had to exit out of all the streams I was lurking in just to make sure nothing gets haywire since it's the first time. Let's see here. You have to catch up. Now I'm back on 7. 20 hours. Jeez, 21 hours. That's why you stopped streaming there for a bit, right? Is because you were like, you know what? There's too much. There's too much going on. And you're like, and you just like I think you burnt yourself out because guess what? You've been streaming. Like when you stream, you decide, hey, you know what? I'm not stopping. Can't stop, won't stop. And you stream for like 4 days in a row. And no wonder you're like, you know what? I'm kind of over streaming right now. Because I only restreamed 48 hours. Twitter was having issues. Okay, so that's where the 6th. Okay, I see. Probably because maybe they have a length limit. You know, or just like, nah, can't stream anymore. But what do you think of the blendos I was talking about? I mean, that's interesting. I mean, it's only gonna get better, right? So you don't have API yet. Which API are you talking about? No, Twitter has having issues. Had to restart. That's why I left it for an hour or so. Okay. So I don't know what APIs you're talking about, but the only problem is, okay, so I can't. It's hard to shout out. Luckily, I wish there was an easy way to shout out everybody. But I can shout out there. I can shout you out there. I just have to go to each one individually to shout everybody out. Except Twitch, since Mix It Up is actually integrated with Twitch, it makes it easier, which is nice. That means, you know, it does it for me. But there we go. I just have to do it manually. That's all. Yeah. So I mean, hey, well, thank you so much. Did you give me a follow? It should have shown up on the. Thought maybe it would, or maybe I have to do the bot Ricks alerts for each one. I don't know. So that would be interesting. I just got to figure out how that works. But yeah, all right, let's get into the video.
The PvP players out there, Moist, Avenger One, any of those type of streamers, and they'll basically tell you that this is where it's at for light fighters at the moment. For dueling, this is the ship. And at $75,
it's the cheaper ship, so
it doesn't give you a lot of flexibility. It really does lock you into that combat, but it's the cheapest of the light fighters, I guess you could call it, Agrid.
Restream, okay, yeah. Restream could do major ones in one chat, one shot out, and get most. Yeah, my problem was when I used Restream way back in the day. I used it. One of the first things I used. That's where I actually got. I got hacked by using. I wasn't bad, you know, because I don't know. I have so many different emails that I use, so. It wasn't really that big of a deal, but still, it was like Here too now. Hey, see, look, I can tell because you're a different color on my screen. But yeah, so like I have a weird like everybody like a lot of people like Restream, and maybe it wasn't Restream's fault, right? But it always made me weary. Yeah, Restream just made me weary after that. So I'm actually using slobs. Yeah, I'm a slobber. I'm using slobs right now. On Linux, I would say try. Here is my IP sucker to most hackers. Well, that's also why I use a VPN as well. Because when I was playing a lot of GTA at the time, and oh my god, you don't have a VPN. Jeez. Because the hackers just run that whole thing. Hey, thanks for the follow. Where did it fall? Where was the follow? I don't know where it was. It was somewhere, but I appreciate the follow. Oh, YouTube. Okay. All right, cool. It doesn't tell me. It doesn't tell me where the follow is. Okay, so the bot Ricks did work when you gave me a YouTube follow. Okay, that's good. Good to know. Funny, most get your info from VPNs. Well, not in GTA. GTA is very late. Yeah, I think so. Because when you said here now, that's when you were actually on there. I mean, it is what it is, I guess.
It's a very good light fighter. I've got to admit.
What do you think of the arrow? I like it.
What I really like about that light fighter is it.
And
does
Saram, you're the
allow you to
best.
put three of
Hope
them
you're doing
into
awesome.
A 890 jump.
Very compact.
Turning the 890 jump into a fairly nice little combat carrier.
When you get to talk to other ones.
If you buy that ship, you are locked into a fighter.
Yeah, I have no doubt. Somewhere years from now, when we do get an Anvil capital ship, I will not be surprised.
5 minutes
this
ago.
is not the thing that has a special little compartment, like almost like the Dragonfly Bay on the Kraken. I would expect this to have some kind of special little bay, just because
This is a great ship. I mean, if you just want to get into a game and do space combat, like that's your thing, the arrow's the way to go, I think.
Yeah. There's a Spartan in here. There's a Centurion.
I don't know if that's me or not.
There'll be the Ballista, obviously.
What was
I
that?
think we can kind of round these all together, and as we go through, we'll say we'll remember the vehicles. But generally, don't
Thank you.
recommend vehicles.
Whatever that was.
This is $140. This is one of the most expensive vehicles in the entire game, and don't buy vehicles. It is roughly, I know it's a little bit more over the top of the price of the Aurora, but not by much. And again, it's almost $100 over, or it's $95 over the Aurora. And
Man,
you
there's
get
no
Game
point
Pass
for
for
ground
$40
vehicles at
as
the
well.
moment.
For that $45. So
Yeah,
that's
Arrow,
it's
I
kinda
like.
nuts. It's got its place in
Or
game.
fast get back
Its
into
place in
action.
game is
Yeah,
earn it in
fast
game.
claim too.
It does.
That's
They
true.
do have their place in game, though. Is there anything you want to add to that, or do you want to talk about one of the other ones as they come up?
I'd probably talk about one of the other ones.
All right.
I mean,
All
if
right,
you
cool
just
then.
want to
How
go
about you talk about this thing? Tell
fighting
me
and
about
stuff, that's a
there's two
great ship.
Pisces.
You
Actually,
know,
there's three, isn't
I
there?
was gonna
No, they
get
don't
that
sell
ship,
the other
earn
ones.
money in game, and buy the rest of the ships in game. You know.
All right, go for it. Tell us about the Pisces. And both
I
Pisces,
like
both of
I
them,
like the
yeah, go for
Pisces
it.
are. It's
Pisces is great.
a
It's
great
lovely
utility
little
ship.
fighter ship. So the C8R, the C8, which is basically the equivalent of the Aurora Essential.
And yeah, exactly.
comes
Nimble.
with
Okay,
your carrot.
firepower.
The C8X is the equivalent of the LN, the Aurora LN. The LN has a better torpedo loadout, but the C8X
Yeah, but then
is
you
just a
can't
great
walk into it.
little
You know.
snub ship that has quantum drive. So it's a great ship. Absolutely great little ship. Seat two
Just to
passengers plus the
We
pilot.
took out a few
4
ships
SU cargo.
one time.
Remind me,
just with
Algrid,
them.
I think the
Yeah,
the
yeah,
skin
exactly.
upgrade's available for this today, isn't it? So you can actually.
I mean,
get
they
the
can
one
they can
that
maneuver
gets
around
the
other ships.
expedition
So
skin on the Carrack as well. I'm just remembering that. I think it is actually
Titan is a
only
good
available
all
at
over ship.
AIE. I
Yeah,
think it is
I
actually
don't think it's as
available
nimble
today.
though.
I have to double. Can you double check that for me when you get a
I'll
chance?
see if I can double
But
check
yeah.
that. But if
What
you
about?
like
I don't think it rotates as fast.
red windshields, then the expedition is for you.
Yep.
And the
You're
the
two now.
C8R is a medical version. It's got a bed. Comes with some medical supplies as well, water and food included. I don't think it's as good as the CX for combat-y stuff as you'd expect, but it does
tailors more
get it
into
down to
those.
a lot of bunker running.
Yeah, the bunker
Yeah,
runs.
stay
Yeah,
behind most
I was
ships.
disagreeing with you.
Easy.
It tailors into
No
the bunker
Titan
runs,
is
very nicely.
you know half the
And
turn
yeah, if you're
speed
a
there.
big bunker runner,
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
great to have one. Right. And as Argid said, they both kind of dovetail or
That's why,
literally
like, you know,
ride
modern
inside the
games. What
character.
modern games are going to like $80 for a game. So if you, I mean, if you actually do a free fly and you like the game, and you know, and you feel like you get your worth out of it, but what you want to do is, you know, space combat. I would go with the Arrow. You know, get that as your base ship. You know, do all the LTRs or whatever they are called. Make the money that way, and then buy ships in game. You know, it's a great ship. It's just a good ship at its price.
This is one of the most popular ships in the game.
Like I would rather. I mean, I would
of
go
the
for the
large
Arrow
ships,
over the Gladius,
but
especially
it
because
really
the
is
price.
going to be out there alone. It is not really designed to be with other ships. That's why it, or even really be around other ships. That's why it's got so many facilities to take care
Hey,
of the people
Carrick
on it and
elevators
itself,
seem to work.
but it's kind of undergunned. It's meant to be out in the black, you know. And I have a theory, Algrid, that I actually want to run by you later about this ship. I've been
Talk most
thinking about
out
it.
of,
I actually think
getting
this
into
might
SC
be jumping
once I
between
explain
universes.
it all to
And
them
I'll tell you
be
why
honest
later,
and
but,
show it. Yeah.
it's just something systems. Yeah, systems. I shouldn't say universes, systems, but
What do you mean you talk most out of getting into SC? Oh, you talk about like mostly about getting into. Hold on, I talk most out of getting into Star Citizen once I explain it all to them and be honest. Yeah, that's. I mean, that's the way to. I mean, you know, the same. I mean, I probably don't, you know, go in the same kind of details as you, but I'm like, hey, this is a sim. You know what I mean? Like, you're at a, you know, at New Babbage, and you need to go to the spaceport. You have to wait for a train to arrive to go get it. It's a semi sim game. So, you know, you got to walk into things. There's no loading screens, which is also nice. You know, but then there's me. Like, there's people like me that like, this is the kind of game that they want to play every now and then. I mean, having it a mainstay game, you know, not for everybody. For me, this will definitely be in the rotation because I do enjoy it and stuff like that. But, you know, it's not for everybody. And sometimes I feel like, you know, maybe as other people did to me, they talked me out of it, you know? So maybe sometimes we talk too much. Well, not talk too much, but we talk people out of it when it's like, you know, because we don't know what they're thinking, so it's hard to tell, and we're just kind of being like cautious. So, but yeah, yes, for sure. The Arrow, many ships, just as you can do bunkers and bounties easily. Yeah. I was I talk on on how it is, and most don't take after blah blah blah. Yes, I talk on how it is, and most don't take and what it, after I show and tell them how it is. To play it once a year now, maybe for a little bit. Yeah, that makes sense. I can understand that. But I'm like, I used to play GTA sometimes. It was the game I would just go in because I didn't know what I was gonna do, and I was just gonna drive around. Right? I was just gonna drive around, maybe run into people. You know what I mean? Let off some steam. You know, crash stuff. So in other words, I would do that in this game too. So sometimes I would just jump on this game instead. You know, just fly around, maybe run into a planet, blow myself up. You know, and I would be completely happy with that. So kind of just like an outlet. I don't know what to do, so I'm just gonna blow myself up. I tell them about other games better, like Space Engineers. Yeah, somebody was actually talking about that to me about Space Engineers. I gotta check it out. Or MP. Okay, hold on.
Empyrean.
Ryan or Spaceborne. Okay, you told me about Spaceborne. Buy cheap and get hours and hours of fun. Hey, that's all that matters. Yeah. SC's only really fun with people. Yeah, that is kind of true. I feel the same way, right? And you really got to find your people, right? And it's hard to jump into other people's people. If that makes sense. Like if they're not playing it, then you know. But sometimes you can make stuff work, you know. The Carrack, man. I don't know. It's kind of ugly, kind of not, kind of. I do like the bay at top, right? Like when I did have it, when I was renting it, I'm renting it right now too. But I would go like a long distance, and I would just open.
What I think I'm
gonna
gonna do is I'm gonna
yeah, I was fine with that, man.
I'm gonna make the jump.
You know, it's a nice little ship. You could spawn in it, which is
Why
nice.
not?
Going through the black.
But $600.
I got time.
Time to get there, but
I shut down.
Can't find the jump point.
And then turn around and go and install Blend OS. I've had it before on my PC.
I think the C8X and the C8 series really does run.
Also, I don't know. I gotta figure out. Like, I'm using Stream Elements because I'm doing I have so many games. You know, I know it's kind of cringe to do like game giveaways, but it's gonna be a random game, and the game could suck. And the game could be free by now. I don't know. It is what it is. It's random, but I have all these codes I need to give away, and I wonder if I can. If I can set up, I think it's only set up for like Twitch though. I gotta find a way to do like a multi raffle, right? Between a bunch of different, you know, you have 7, maybe you know of one, to do like a raffle between like a bunch of different platforms or something. Yeah, I think it may just stop for I think I may just stop for tonight and install Blendos. Hey, and get it on and get it set up. Yeah. I mean, it seems pretty cool. Blendos. What a name. Blendos. I like how you're not sleeping. You know, it's like, I may just stop and start doing more stuff instead of, hey, I should go sleep. Because I've been up for 24 hours.
And you can almost see the development. The Auroras have better.
I'm not afraid of the challenge.
But it's hard to go past a ship that you can walk around the interior of and have the internal cargo, and you know it's a little bit more expensive than an Aurora, but it's still a damn sexy little ship.
I think we can make it pretty quick. This is essentially the runabout to the Enterprise, which is this, right? And that's one of the reasons why it's so popular. This is the closest thing at the moment that we have to the Enterprise. It is the go round and go where no man's gone before.
What is the Enterprise?
And that's why it's so.
I don't even know if I know about
That's
it.
why it's one of the most popular ships in the game.
See how fast I can do it in 1 hour.
They did early on. Was it 79% of people or something, or 75 to 79% of people wanted to do exploration.
The Carrack is a waste ship, not needed.
That's why it's such a popular ship. So yeah.
I think so.
I think the main thing is because you could spawn in it, right? You could spawn in this ship, and you could spawn in the 890 jump. So if you're doing missions and you get killed, you can be right there and spawn in there. It's a convenience thing. But, you know, $600? I mean, come on.
I do expect that the
that's pretty much all I feel like it's going for, right?
P-type aspect and piracy to be
at the moment.
The absolute queen.
Yeah.
But no, it was exploration. People wanted to be.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do.
Even me, when I was first.
It's real only use, yeah.
Before
Now, as I was saying earlier, like I this is my second time streaming, but as I was saying earlier, if they did what they do
people
in
on either.
GTA, right, and people could make their own servers and they could do RP, this would probably be a great ship for RP.
Right. We're gonna stop for tonight.
You know?
We're going to do that.
I mean, come on.
We will catch you guys all
once it's like
next time. I don't know,
but
sometime
I don't know
yet
how to
coming up
because,
soon.
You know, you'd have to allow people to make their own servers and stuff like that. And,
oh, Deedway, I'm going to install Blendo OS.
Space GTA,
I'm shutting down to do that.
it's ever finished.
May start back up for a little bit after I get
but for me,
it set up. I want to see how fast I can do it.
The Idris was kind of
because that Blend OS is actually got my
Oh,
attention.
okay. So there's not a ship actually called the Enterprise. They're just you know, comparing it to the
Because it's got my attention. And I want to see how I can't do it. Yeah, Blend OS. It's Linux. That's the other one that I was showing. Let me. Let's see, where am I? I'll show you. Okay, save. I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's an immutable OS. And let me show you quick before I get off. The only part I'm not sure about is how am I going to get the AMD drivers to install.
Systems that they're starting to love. Come in a little closer, I found the perfect distribution.
No, and it is.
Now, we all know, as Linux users,
we hop
there's
around
so
a
many
lot.
exciting things happening, whether it's happening in Fedora, whether it's happening in Arch, whether it's happening in Ubuntu. And a lot of times those awesome things are not
the list
the same.
goes on
One
and on.
distro is doing something really cool you want to check out.
One
Another
has-
distro is doing this
yeah.
other thing, or this other distro has access to get this package working, but this distro doesn't. And
Right.
well, that's what
You jump on a
distro
distro
hopping is.
and
That's why you
half
see a
your
lot of
things
us
work,
Linux
the other
users
half
jumping
don't.
to all these different distros. But what
You
if I
jump on a
told
different
you
one,
those
this
things
other
are gone?
chunk
Because
doesn't work
somebody
and this
has
one does.
solved this problem. Somebody
like-
has given us the antidote to distro hopping. And that distro that's going to rule them all is Blend OS. That's what I want to talk to you today about, because I've
really
been
pretty
spending the last
neat.
few weeks in Blend OS, and this is not overhyped.
And I mean-
It may be because
Not
I'm
overhyped.
overhyped about it, but I'm not overhyping how amazing
But it
this operating
is-
system is, because it has everything that I've been wanting in a distro, because it combines them all like a blender. Like, can it blend?
I don't think it's
Yes,
overhyped.
it can blend. So you get an Arch base.
6 months
but
ago when I
you get
tried
an
it, it was
immutable
overhyped.
operating system, much like SteamOS has done it. And we know how stable SteamOS is on the Steam Deck. And so you have this immutable OS that you can roll back. So you have all of the cutting edge pieces of Arch, but an immutable system. Plus, if I want to use Fedora, I can have Fedora
See.
there in a container. And even from the terminal, can install Fedora applications all over top of this utilizing DNF. If I want to use Ubuntu, I can do that too. Alma Linux, sure, throw that in. Really, all of the main core distros blended together, available in one. The AUR with so many amazing packages available to it, yeah, let's throw that in the blender as well. And that's how you come up with one of the greatest distros, I think, this year. Possibly the distro that will solve all distro hopping, Blend OS. So let's get into what makes this distro so amazing.
It's really
My
neat.
experience for the last few weeks utilizing this in production and having absolute amazing time. In fact, I'm in it right now recording this with all this fancy audio equipment.
It definitely
Pipewire, all
is
these
really
things.
neat.
Works out of the box. No problems at all. Oh, and by the way, one of the issues with immutable distros is sometimes getting the drivers for things like the proprietary NVIDIA drivers. They have a system for that, so you can install those packages as well, so you're not left out in the cold. This is what I'm talking about when we take all the amazing work from the open source community, just combine it into one package here. Is it possible? It is, and it's here. Let's get into it. So let's talk about first how difficult this operating system is to install, because certainly if you have a distro that's a blend of every distro, this is going to be a mess, right? The installer is going to be messed up. It's going to be really difficult. It's going to be like an Arch-like experience or something else, where you've got to sit there in the command line and you don't have a GUI and all that. Wrong. It's got a beautiful GUI, one of the most simplistic installers you could think of. Very, very well done. In fact, really surprised at how simplistic they were.
It
able to make
installs
it, so you
really
don't need to-
fast.
So You write it to a USB
This new
drive,
system that
you
they
boot
have
to it,
is
it
actually
takes you through a beautiful GUI that just
really
makes sense,
interesting.
and you install the OS and reboot into it. That's it. You're done. So installing, very simple. Once you get into the distro, this is where things get really exciting. Now, you can choose what desktop environment you want. So let's say you want XFCE, you want KDE, you want Cinnamon, GNOME, any of those that you want, no problem. Choose your desktop environment. But let's say it is a mutable OS that you want to change your desktop environment. That's probably not so easy, right? Wrong again. You can switch your desktop environment any which way you want, and
Right.
you can bounce back and forth at your pleasure. This is some of the amazing
6 different
things that
or
BlendOS
7
allows you to do.
different
Because
desktops to choose
not
from
only are you
at
able
any
to
point.
switch, but it doesn't carry over all of the junk that happens when you switch desktops in a normal environment. So sure, you could switch desktop environments in Fedora or Ubuntu, but you know, if you go from something like KDE to GNOME, you're going to have lots of leftover
You have a lot of
files and
GNOME stuff,
packages
and then you have a lot of
duplicate
KDE
file
stuff.
managers and things that you have to
And it's
clean
all
up.
mixed matched
Not
together side by
in
side.
BlendOS. In BlendOS, when you're switching
BlendOS
between
doesn't
these,
do that.
doesn't matter. It's going to automatically clean up all those things, keep all your files where they're supposed to be. So all the videos you created, text files, all that stuff will still be there. Doesn't erase it, but you only have the file manager, say Dolphin, that's meant for KDE, or for GNOME, you only have the Nautilus file manager. So you don't have to deal with all the duplication and mess that comes in other distros.
It's really neat.
But BlendOS becomes even more awesome when we talk about apps. And I mentioned a little bit about this in the beginning, but let me show you how it works. So not only can I go in here and create containers for Fedora or for Ubuntu or for Alma Linux or any of these distros that you see listed, but I can also create systems or ties to these containers so that in just the one terminal, I can use DNF, I can use Yay for the AUR, I can use apt, I can utilize any of those commands from one terminal, or I could launch them in their container terminal and do that work there. But the system, the ability, the developers to think like, hey, let's tie it all together and integrate it so that
Right.
you can utilize it in one terminal and make it really simple through a GUI to do so. Just absolutely brilliant. And I mentioned all the distros that you can add in, but did you know you can add in the Android stores as well? So if you want F-Droid and you want some Android apps, you can do that in here as well. You can create a container for that, and you can install some of your Android applications. Absolutely brilliant. One of the things too that allowing distros like Ubuntu, Debian, Rocky, Alma, Kali, Rawhide, all to be blended into one allows you to do things with distros that typically you shouldn't. For instance, Kali Linux is not meant to be an everyday distro. It is meant for penetration testing and security and privacy testing and those type of things, but it is not meant to be run as an everyday distro. Many people do it, but even on Kali's website, they tell you not to do that. They don't want you utilizing this as a daily. That's not what it's meant for. But in this system, because I can install Kali into a container, now I can utilize it for those purposes. I can either remove that container or keep it containerized in itself, keep it on my system forever if I'm continuing to do pen testing and those type of things without having to have the security compromises that come with having a system with those kind of tools that are on it by default. Again, just another brilliant way that they've integrated everything together. And here is the beauty too. If you go into one of these containers, for instance, let's say I'm in BlendOS and I set up a container for Ubuntu. And if I go into Ubuntu and launch the terminal and go into my downloads or I go into my video folder, all of the stuff that I've recorded in BlendOS is also available, meaning all those files are still viewable in the other container systems. So I don't have to sit there and try to move files between different containers and file systems and things
It really
like that. So it's
connects.
not creating this world or container which has no view into anything else.
Which is really
They're
cool.
interconnected, and that to me is absolutely amazingly convenient to be able to actually utilize this to its full capability. So now let's talk about some of the apps that I've tried to utilize in this. Gaming works perfectly. I've played CSGO, I've played Borderlands. I am on AMD, so that's important to note. So I didn't have to install any additional packages for NVIDIA and things. Thankfully, it's one of the advantages of being an AMD and Linux. But I was able to game with CSGO, Borderlands, had no problem. The frame rates were fantastic. The games ran wonderfully. So gaming is no problem on this as well. Able to install Steam, no problem. Additionally, OBS and Pipewire. Pipewire is very important for me. On the Destination Linux podcast, I'm piping in and mix-minusing audio from multiple sources to bring our patrons into the show live while we're recording it. And with BlendOS, it has Pipewire by default. I was able to use QWP Graph and wire in all of the different audio from various places and ready to go. And it's going to integrate all of those software applications right into your main menu. So you're not having to go to all these various containers to say launch Steam because you installed that in Ubuntu, but then Blender you installed in Fedora, so you got to launch that. No, right in my main menu are all my applications. As soon as I install them in any of those containers, they become available to me to launch from the main menu. Wonderful. I mean, it's just freaking brilliant. I love BlendOS. Can you tell I love BlendOS? I love BlendOS. So that's it. My review of BlendOS. It is the infinity gauntlet of distributions. Every
What do you
infinity
think,
zone represents
D2A?
a different distro, and you have them all within your control.
What do you think of that? Where you can have one OS pull stuff from multiple distros to use their package managers, and they're updated, so you can get the updated stuff through Arch. But you want something more stable, you can get it through Debian or Ubuntu. The list is
and they all have Soylent Green. Oh my god.
it's really neat.
I keep on messing up.
Can you run Windows? What do you mean?
And I was like, man, why can't I say
You can do a QEU or QEMU Vert Manager. Look up how to set it up. I'll show you. So, you can run Windows inside of Linux with pass-through CPU GPU like it's running natively on your system. Let me show you.
Well, it doesn't matter if it's 450 or 500, by the way. I mean, you got a fucking deal. With Charlton Heston. What? The F? Okay, Soylent Green. That's a movie?
No. Oh, using two computers now? Windows 11 on one and Ubuntu on the other? Fuck that. One computer.
Oh, close up. Okay.
So it's considered a KVM, kernel virtualization machine. So it passes stuff through the kernel. Here's the one I want.
Fedora 35 beta running Mate because the
machine inside the machine inside the machine.
Greetings and welcome to another exciting episode of Veronica Explains. Today, I'm going to talk about something incredibly exciting, kernel-based virtual machines. Okay, well, I think they're exciting. Kernel-based virtual machine, or KVM, is a fantastic hypervisor baked into the Linux kernel since Linux 2.6.20. What is a hypervisor, you ask? Well, according to Twitter,
Yeah,
don't listen to them.
Multi-computer's kind of pain in the ass.
Hypervisors let you run complete
Costly.
isolated operating systems, or virtual machines, inside your existing real-life actual computer. If you aren't familiar with the concept of the hypervisor, and you want me to make a broader video covering that topic, hit me up in the comments. Why are virtual machines helpful? There are tons of great reasons to use VMs. But here's one from my own life as a dev: backup and restore. I can't begin to tell you how many times I've borked an install of some tool on a Linux server, but with virtual machine snapshots, I can simply take a snapshot of the VM before running the install and then revert if something goes awry.
forked an install of some tool on a Linux server?
Similarly, I can clone a working VM into multiple environments, simplifying testing and bug fixing. KVM lets you turn your Linux box into a fantastic hypervisor without downloading tons of complex programs for managing the whole thing. Because it's baked into the Linux
This is
kernel,
where
instead of a separate program running on top, it's fantastic.
it's really neat.
Other hypervisors include VirtualBox, VMware, and Hyper-V. But I've always gravitated toward using KVM because it's open source, baked into Linux, and free to use. Ready to dive into KVM? First things first, in this video, I'm assuming you're on an x86 machine, like a typical laptop running Linux in 2021. If you're on a Chromebook, a Raspberry Pi, a cloud machine, or a mainframe, these instructions may not work for you. In addition, virtual machines take up space and RAM, so you're probably going to want at least 50 free gigabytes of storage on your machine and at least 8 gigabytes of RAM. In both cases, more is much, much better. I'm also assuming you're already running some kind of Linux distribution on your machine. In my case, I'm running Pop! OS 21.04, which is based on the most up-to-date Ubuntu at the time I've made the video. I've tested these instructions on my main Pop! Machine, as well as my Fedora 34 laptop, but as always, your experience may look a bit different. The first thing you're going to need to do is to make sure your system has enabled all of the virtualization tools needed in the firmware. If you're running a desktop or laptop from the last 5 years, you probably have what you need, but you need to make sure it's all ready to go. Every distro is different, but I find this egrep command works pretty well. If you want to know what this command does, I'll flash an explanatory title on the screen for 4 seconds. Pause to learn more. Right. So if the number displayed by the egrep command is more than 0, congratulations! You're all set for KVM. If the number is 0, that means you'll need to go into your BIOS and tweak the settings to allow virtualization. My advice is to look up the instructions for whatever desktop, laptop, or motherboard you're using and figure out how to enable virtualization on your machine. Once you're done BIOSing, try that egrep command again and make sure you've got a number greater than 0. With that, you're ready to install what you need. Now, the install process is obviously going to be different from distro to distro. My advice is to look up the specific processes for your distro by using DuckDuckGo to Google your distro and the words install KVM. Psst, a quick side note. There's no shame in looking up a how-to. I don't have every command memorized all the time, and it doesn't make me any less of a Linux expert. Learning to find new answers is so much more important than memorizing old ones. And I don't know any other professional sysadmin who doesn't feel the exact same way. Anywho, in Fedora 34, you can just install the whole virtualization group with sudo dnf install @virtualization. In other distros, like Ubuntu, you'll have to pick the preferred packages personally, preferably precisely, and possibly perfectly. QEMU is the emulator itself, and the QEMU KVM package installs the main bits your operating system will need. libvirtdaemon is very important. A daemon is a program that runs something in the background, so the libvirtdaemon is the program that runs virtualization in the background. Bridgeutils is vital for networking your VM to the rest of your network, which may come up in your install. And virtmanager is a graphical program we'll use to manage the whole thing. There could be lots of other packages and differences. That's why the best option is for you to look up specific instructions for your current distro. Once you finish up the install, you're going to want to check these instructions for how to proceed next. On Ubuntu-based systems, I usually have to add the user to the KVM and libvirt group and then restart. In my recent experience, Fedora makes this easy, since they ask for permissions as you work in the GUI. As usual, consult your distro's instructions for help. Once the group memberships are sorted, you'll want to make sure the libvirtdaemon starts up and starts on boot. For that, We'll need to tell our trusty systemd to start the daemon now and again on startup with sudo system control start libvirtd followed by sudo system control enable libvirtd. With that, we should be ready to go with creating VMs. Before we continue, I just want to address the fact that I'm doing all of this with the very, very good graphical program for KVM, which is creatively titled Virtual Machine Manager, or Virt Manager for short. Truthfully, I find this program to be great for interacting with my VMs. However,
What do you think?
there's a ton that can be done with KVM at the command line.
The KVM, by installing them like this, you can pass your GPU to the operating system. You can pass your memory, USB, PCI Express, so your GPU, all of that stuff, to that KVM that is running. And voila, it thinks that it's running on your computer natively. Anyway, I'm going to call that an end of a night. I may be back later. We'll see. Not been many people around, just a few here and there. Quiet night. Grayed out.
Yeah, I mean, the F7A, I don't think it's coming out. Right? I think the F7C Mark II will come out, you know? Hey! Oh man, thank you so much, Techno Freak. Let's give a shout out to Techno Freak. Streaming for about 5 days now, and then still not going to sleep. I hope you would sleep, Techno Freak. You know what I mean? Like, but no, we'll keep on going. And then when he's done, he's gonna install some stuff on his computer, and then he's gonna start streaming again.